Hello everyone, welcome to another EV Rambling series. I'm at Jim Patterson Toyota in Victoria, British Columbia, and they've been nice enough to let me borrow a 2018 Toyota Prius Prime for a good chunk of the day. So I am going to take this thing for a drive. Now you can see it right here. You know, it's it's 4-door, seats 4, has an 8.8 kilowatt hour battery, and I'm excited to see what it can do. So this will be a driving reaction. I'm going to get in the car and let's see what we think. Let's go. Oh, all right. It's nice to be inside this quiet car from the very noisy outside with all the combustion vehicles driving by. So as I mentioned, this is a 2018 Prius Prime. I've just briefly been in the car to park it beside my Chevrolet Volt, and I haven't really given a full impression, but it's very comfortable inside. I like it. I don't know. It's the roof is really high right here, which is a really nice change from some more recent vehicles I've been in. The window, it's a little bit small, but I kind of like that. Some people really like open and airy. I like more like tank-like, and I think this is a little bit more enclosing me like a tank. As you can see, there's no gauge cluster or anything right here. Everything's up front here, and you have this big touchscreen here. So this is very reminiscent of Tesla, obviously. Like I'm not gonna say direct ripoff, but Tesla basically pioneered this style of like the screen set to this type of view, and yeah. So here, let's just turn it on. So like any other car, foot on the brake, power. I think it wants me to put the seatbelt on. You hear its startup music, and we're presented with a caution screen that you have to continue with. This is something pretty normal on most electric cars that I've been in. Oh, you don't have to hit continue; it just timed out. So we're on an energy monitor screen right now, but let's see if we click home. That brings us to a GPS screen, and it looks like okay. Yeah, you could drag. Oops. Home. You could drag between destination, info, phone. There's also a menu button here. Okay, same thing. Settings, display, phone, info. Actually, let's go to display. I think this is... You can turn the screen off. There's day mode. You could adjust contrast and brightness. That's fine. Let's go back. Info. So we have energy, past record, and charge schedule. Let's look at the charge schedule because this could be important for people. So this car does have an 8.8 kilowatt hour battery. So that's a pretty decent amount of storage. And the benefit of this car is being able to charge it and then drive from that electricity. And so that's something you usually do overnight, but you may be charging during the day, or you may want to delay your charging during certain times. So you'd add a scheduled event so you could charge when electricity is cheaper. And this actually looks really good. You can set your time with the repeat, the day, climate prep. Huh. That's really advanced, and I like the whole schedule here, actually. That's impressive. That's good. Okay, let's go to menu. Let's go to info again. Let's go to... Yeah, so this is the monitor, the energy monitor. This is what I'm going to have on for the drive. And it's showing us a layout of the car. It might be a little bit hard to see, but they're saying the battery's at the back of the car, which I would say is true because the trunk, you do lose a little bit of trunk space with the Prime. It's showing a climate motor. So climate obviously takes energy. You have a big electric motor here, and then you have an engine in the front. So this car, from my research, will power itself fully electric up to about 130 kilometers an hour speed, and then if you go over that, then I think the gas motor has to kick in. But we should be able to drive full electric until it runs out, and that is the plan. So here, I'm gonna switch. There's a drive mode button down here. I'm gonna switch between it. So we have eco mode, normal, power mode. I think I want to be in eco mode. Now there's a button called HV and EV. Now that turns off, that removes an EV mode. So I want to leave that to EV mode, and then EV auto takes the little bar around it. I'm pretty sure if the box is around EV mode, that means that I've selected full EV, not auto. I'm assuming auto adjusts itself. Okay, and steering wheel goes in and out, up and down. That's nice. You have a bunch of, now in this car, this is the upgrade edition. You have like a wireless charger down here. There's a power button for that. I'm going to turn that off. Don't want to use any energy. There's a 12 volt down here. There's also a USB and an analog headphone input. That's getting harder to find, I think. There's all kinds of buttons here for auto lights. Charge timer button on off down here. There's a eject the gas mode, or the gas door. We have volume on my left thumb, and then like previous track, next track. We have the trip button. We have phone. You have heated steering wheel, which is nice. So there's heated seat buttons down here. You have a menu, so this allows you to go through an on-screen menu up here. Looks like that's a lane assist. Fan, you could choose a driver priority. That's cool. Music, a compass, information, lane sway warning. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it on this screen here. It's showing this car is loaded with proximity sensors, so I'm assuming this is going to show you collision detection, or just to tell you that there's somebody near or close. So I want to leave it on that. Oh, it's funny. You have like a regular analog clock up there. Well, it's not. It's like an LCD. Old school clock. That's cool. And then drive selectors here. So it's interesting placement. It's a nice rest here, but basically it's just if I go straight down, I go into a B mode, which is generating. That would be engine braking to pull electricity. Over and down is drive. Over is neutral. Over and up is reverse. And I want to go in reverse just to show you the backup camera. Now we're getting all kinds of warnings. Rear cross traffic because I'm right here, but you can see it just takes up the top part. It's going to drive, and things have not stopped yelling at me. Now let's go into B mode. Oh, and there's a representation of what we're in there. Okay, well that's enough talking. Let's go. Oh, and there's the park brake is a manual brake down on your left foot here. All right. Now. All right. First impressions. The car feels very planted. Oh, cool. You're not going to be able to see it with the camera, but above me here, there's a projection of my speed. It takes, my polarized glasses do take it away quite a bit, but it tells me my speed, my eco rating, and the estimated electric range. So it's showing I have an estimated 38 kilometers of EV range. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So I'm not sure where we could see. Like on my little heads-up display, it's showing me electric range. And I'm assuming up at the top here, there's a gasoline meter. And it shows that we're almost full. I'm assuming that's gas. It'd be nice if it showed us somewhere else beside this heads-up display how much electric range it thinks we have. But no, I don't see that. I think it's just up here. Well, that's fine. We can live with that. Actually, if I go to this information screen, Okay, so yeah, here, this is showing us 98% of battery. So this my heads-up display doesn't show me percentage, it shows me a physical number, whereas I'm not seeing a physical number on there. So there's lots of different information being presented to me in this car, and I appreciate that. I like being able to know exactly what's going on. I really hate it when they hide that type of detail. Obviously, I'm trying to drive as eco as possible. Here, let's put it in drive mode. Oops. And C. Yeah, and then if I go to B, it pulls it back. Yeah, so B works well. It's not very strong of a B mode. Like, I have my foot off the accelerator right now. I don't think it would stop the car. Maybe if you gave it enough long distance, but it's not like single pedal drive like we're seeing in a lot of vehicles. I like the new Nissan Leaf, like the i3, the Tesla, and the Bolt. Like, those all can be very heavy. I have my foot off the accelerator again, and we're coming to a slow, but it's just gradual. So that is a mild B mode, but which also means that it's easy to live with. So yeah, I'm impressed right now. Very impressed. This feels great, and I do like this screen. Well, I've been driving now for 11 kilometers. We're showing as 74% battery remaining and 28.8 kilometers remaining on the little heads-up display here. And the car is running really well. We've just been in traffic like this, like city traffic, kind of just 30 to 60 kilometers an hour. And I haven't given it any hard acceleration. That's not really my purpose of taking this vehicle out. But it's performed really well. I was coming up to a stoplight. It was green and it turned yellow at me just right at the end. And I hit the brakes hard, and the car just like stopped right away, like very controlled. It's very quiet and really comfortable interior. Now, that's one thing to mention on this version of this vehicle. This is the Upgrade Prime Edition. This driver's seat has all power controls on it, so I could tilt it back or move it forward and back and all that good stuff, like tilt the seat as well. So you could find a really good seating position with this car easily. The passenger seat, though, is all manual control. It's just, that's to be expected, and I've seen that on many other cars before. But yeah, so far, like this, it feels very nice. And I would have no issues owning this vehicle. Like, it's at the moment, it's just, yeah, it's excellent. I do like all the safety features. I like how on the side view mirrors it lights up to tell you there's a car beside you. And yeah, I'm very impressed. Way more than I expected, actually. So what else did we come up with? The screen itself, it is viewable in daylight. Like, we're on a mixed day where it's patchy, it's either raining or it's sunny, and I've been able to see it no matter what. I still really like the interface. I do like all the information still that it's displaying. And there's nothing I could really take away from this car right now that I could say is a negative. It's doing very well, exceeding all expectations. So let's keep driving, and I'll come back when we're about to go. I'm going to take it we're going to go over like a high-speed section. I'm going to give it full throttle because it does, on this little bar up here, there's a big area. I've driven a Prius C. I rented one for a week and had a really small area that you could try to keep it in EV mode. This is a really big area, obviously, much bigger electric motor. But there's a power on the end there for when you want real power. And I know we put it in like an eco mode, but I'm going to give it full throttle and see if it stays on battery or not. I don't think it will, but we'll find out shortly. All right, we're going to be approaching the faster section of the road here. We're just going to slow down. Now, as mentioned, the B mode, my foot's off of it. It's not slowing the car down a lot, but when I do apply the brakes, it greatly increases what's listed here as the charging, so that's engaging the electric motor harder to slow down the car. But we're still in eco mode and EV mode with a box around it. 62% listed as battery of capacity remaining, and showing as 24.8 kilometers, 24.7 of EV range. And we're about to do the full throttle. Okay, come on. Okay, full throttle. All the way down. Okay. Not bad. Okay, I got up to speed. Past that Mustang. Of course, we weren't racing or anything, but it stayed in electric mode. That is really good. Huh. I wasn't expecting that. I figured under full, like, I know we selected EV only mode, but I expected it to actually force into gas under that type of condition, and it didn't. So that really puts this car into extended range EVs. Now, I know that if I took it out of eco mode, or the EV only mode, and chose power, the car would accelerate much faster than it did there. But there was nothing wrong with that. That was fully acceptable. It responded right away. It's not as fast as, obviously, like as a full EV or as my Volt in that electric mode, but it was good. It was totally usable. All right, welcome back. We are on gas mode now. We've turned around, we're going back, but we were able to get about just 51 kilometers out of the battery only, which is awesome. So good. And now that we're in gas mode, the car, it drives very different. Like, we're on the Chevrolet Volt when it's in gas mode, it still acts kind of the same, like, except you have that gas motor running. This car kind of transforms when it's the gas mode came on. It's still in eco mode, but if I actually put the accelerator down, the car is much quicker to want to accelerate, and the gas motor is adjusting. So it's definitely a far more intelligent, I think, gasoline mode, similar to what the Outlander plug-in hybrid was. The Chevrolet Volt, like especially the newer version, it does have a little bit more intelligence in it, but it seems for the most part it's just trying to really just make electricity, whereas this, you could tell that the gasoline motor has a much more direct impact connection to the wheels. So when I'm pushing the accelerator down, it's really wanting to, like, wow, it's different, it's connected differently. But it feels fine. It feels like it's working excellent. This display here, I actually haven't looked at it since the gas motor came on, but you can see that there's the engine mode is gold now, same with battery, and it looks like right now we are running in electricity without the gasoline. That's just from whatever we captured and the fact that we're just more coasting. Also, our little eco bar has changed, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. I think it lit up, so we have a smaller eco range and a bigger gas range. So I've been driving on gas for a little while, for about 10 kilometers, and I'm not sure how Toyota or how this car is doing it, but like right now it's running on gas, but it seems to want to run on electricity a lot. Like, it's really hard to explain. Like, it's a lot of times I've been driving it on this road and it's just like I'm not using any gas at all. So I'm not sure if it just has like a way faster way of capturing energy in that battery pack than any other plug-in hybrid I've driven can. But it's eerie. It's kind of blowing my mind how quick, like, yeah, how often, like in gas mode, like I haven't plugged the car in at all. How often it's staying electric mode, it's really cool. I think this thing is just going to be a beast, like in terms of just sipping fuel when you're in gas mode. We'll see when we get back. But yeah, no, the impressions are awesome. Really impressed with what this car is doing in gas mode. So we've now driven just over 80 kilometers, and we've averaged so far 1.5 liter per 100 kilometer. But now we're going to go on this faster highway section on the way back. And I want to see just how the car drives now that we don't have any stored energy from plugging it in. I am still in eco mode. I don't want to take it out of eco mode. I'm trying to, compare this to the Volt and to see what kind of best you can get. But if I give it some acceleration in just a moment, we should get a pretty good idea of what this car is. But, on the drive here, everything has been working really well. The car is very predictable. It's a nice drive. It still is really quiet. There is a significant amount of vibration when the engine is running. I don't think there's any way you're going to avoid that. But I would like to. Here we go. Oh yeah. So when you're in gas mode, the car is significantly faster. It's kind of funny actually. A lot of people would expect the opposite, or at least electric vehicle people. But it definitely has that extra boost when it's in gas mode. And then now that we're going down a hill, we're just all on electric. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to see, I wanted to make sure I recorded what that was like. It's definitely, this car would not be an issue on highways or anything. It's not twitchy or anything either. It's very well composed. Well, we're almost back at the dealership. And I've been thinking a lot about this vehicle. And I don't know, it's going to be very hard to give this vehicle a conclusion. But let's talk about what we've done so far. So we've driven 100.6 kilometers at the moment, and we've averaged 1.9 liters per 100 kilometers of fuel consumption, which is very low. That's excellent. Things that surprised me most about the car is, that when I was in the EV mode, I was able to put the accelerator down all the way and have the gas motor not interfere as long as I had battery, which that was a big surprise. And when it is in gas mode, how often it turns the gas mode off. Like, for a lot of this driving back, it's been, a lot of it has just been on electric. And so this car is very good at capturing and storing energy. And when the gas motor is on, it's creating obviously a ton of electricity, which is putting into the batteries, which allows you to then to just go off that gas again. So that's very impressive. That's awesome. Now, would I buy this? Okay, let's talk about why you would buy this. So first off, there's a lot to say about brand trust. And General Motors, for a lot of people, is not a trusted brand. It doesn't matter what I say about the Chevrolet Volt to people. There's been a large group of people that just not a chance. They will not consider buying an electric vehicle, and they won't, or like a General Motors electric vehicle, and they won't even get in my Volt to test drive it just to see, because I offer people to drive my vehicles all the time. And Toyota is a very trusted brand among consumers, and for good reason. And when you look at something like the Prius is basically the founder of hybrid vehicles almost. Priuses are everywhere. They have a really good proven track record. So that's huge in terms of buying this car. Now, the most closest competitor that I would compare this vehicle to is the Chevrolet Volt. The Honda Clarity is probably in there as well, but I haven't driven a Honda Clarity yet, so I can't really speak to it. But the Chevrolet Volt, the second generation, would be the most closest thing to this vehicle. And the Volt has significantly more battery. It has 18 kilowatt hours of storage compared to the 8.8 kilowatts here. But I'm pretty sure, well, this car, I guarantee you, gets better gas mileage when it's actually running on gas. So the Volt has a much longer battery. Park. We're here. But the Volt also costs $6,000 more Canadian for the base price. And that is not a small amount of money. That's quite a bit. But where the Volt excels is exactly in that word, acceleration. This car, to get that nutty fun acceleration, you have to have gas engage. When the gas motor engages with the electric motors, the car is just like, it comes alive, it's fast, it's pretty fun. The Volt, on the other hand, though, you can get that nutty acceleration just with battery only, with electricity, because the electric motor is so much larger. So in terms of a fun factor, I have to choose the Volt because I'm not using gasoline to get that fun, that burst of fun. But that's something that a lot of people just don't care about. Like this car, okay, we're here. We went 101.9 kilometers, which is almost bang on because we hit 51 kilometers before the gas motor came on. We averaged 2 liters per 100 kilometers. That's awesome. And I don't think there's any chance you could hit that with a Volt. All right, so the car is super comfortable. The Prius Prime is very comfortable. It drives great, like in terms of handling. It's quiet. It's actually quite a bargain when you think about it in terms of what you're getting. And it is by far the best Prius ever made. Hands down, like this is the best Prius. And if you have the ability to charge your vehicle, like to plug it into a regular wall outlet overnight, or at work, and then this car makes perfect sense. You should not buy a regular Prius. You should buy a Prius Prime. For sure. And especially if you're brand loyal to Toyota, I think like this is the car to get. I really enjoy it. I like it. But if you're not brand loyal and you're open to other ideas, you need to, when you test drive, you need to test drive multiple vehicles, and you need to test drive this. Obviously, you need to test drive a second generation Volt. I would also suggest you need to test drive a Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, and quite possibly the Honda Clarity. But I'm trying to think about the best scenario for this vehicle. This vehicle would make the most sense if, let's say, your regular Monday to Friday is within 100 kilometers and you have the ability to charge, but you do also go on some really long trips, multiple ones a year. And this car with its like 45-liter tank can get you over 1,000 kilometers, and it can do it very economically. Then that is a really good value proposition. This car will save you money. So let's turn this. Yeah, well, let's leave it on. Oops. I didn't know what to think of the Prius Prime. Honestly, I had read some reviews, but the reviews really didn't help me too much. And I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, actually. It's surprised me in many ways. I really like the layout. I like how it drives. The capability of it's fantastic out of that 8.8 kilowatt hour battery. And I think it's, I think this is the future. Like, this is the stepping stone for sure for people to get into electric vehicles. I would think out of any of the vehicles on the market right now, this probably has the best chance of actually getting into consumers' hands and letting people know what an electric vehicle experience could be like. And for that, that's awesome. So thanks for watching. Thank you again to Jim Pass and Toyota and Victoria for letting me borrow this car. I really appreciate that. Please give them your business. If you go in there, let them know that you saw a guy on YouTube named Dustin and his videos. And I have lots of other videos I've uploaded. I have a 360 interactive video. I have a quick review. And I also did a range test versus my first generation Volt. So I'm actually about to record that now. Long day. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to get more videos about some of the latest electrified options on the market. I'm constantly trying to get my hands on the newest vehicles. I'm hoping that the Honda Clarity might be next, or it might be the one of the Volvo plug-in hybrid SUVs. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.